All right, do this. All right. So we're gonna get go ahead and get this started. So just give me your name and your podcast because I'm very excited to learn everything.
Yeah, I'm Joshua Hensley, host of the Let's Ruin Our Lives podcast out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Cool. All right. So tell me about the podcast. I know you have music, film. Just tell me everything. I wanna know everything.
Yeah, it's a pretty all-inclusive art-based podcast with an emphasis on punk rock, definitely. But I'll interview anybody as long as they're from the world of like underground art, I guess, musicians, comedians, filmmakers, authors, anybody who's really like uh committed to their art form and, crafting something unique.
Well, I like that because I was stalking, and no, I do I stalk everybody, but I
Sure.
like that when on the videos on Instagram that you would just ask people questions. Anybody, you're at the show, you're
Mhm.
at shows over there, you're part of the scene. So just tell me more about the Arizona scene over there.
Um, so I guess I started so I moved here like 20 years ago, and I've lived here off and on for that 20 years. And the scene has always been very like welcoming and inclusive. Um, and just very like blue collar, down to earth, not a lot of like huge egos or anything. I'm from Los Angeles originally, so a pretty big change.
I can
It- yeah, just to be honest, like growing up in LA, there's a lot of egos and like, elitists and stuff, and not really so much over here.
comment on
Everybody's
that.
yeah, yeah. Everybody's just really cool. And so, I had a kid about 9.5 years ago, so I stopped going to shows. And once I got sober last year, I was like, well, punk rock has always been my whole life. It's the reason I have a child. It's the reason I have all the friends that I do. And I grew up playing in bands and stuff, and I was like, well, I should really like go out to shows, and I have this podcast. Let me document these shows, and find out what punk rock means to everybody else. And everybody has wildly different ideas about it, which I find really interesting. And yeah, we're also throwing shows of our own now, so that's a lot of fun.
I like that you throw your own shows. Also,
Hmm.
the fact that you became sober and became a parent, that's really
Yeah,
cool. Like I feel like we're kind of like in a
yeah.
similar vein on that. So that's
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I saw that it said sober on your profile as well, so I was like, oh, cool.
yeah. I mean, it for me, it's definitely a life changing thing. What about for you?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was pretty much killing myself with alcohol there for quite some time, like 20 years of daily drinking, and it had gotten really bad. And it's definitely changed my life. I'm now on an antidepressant that thankfully it works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but for me it's completely changed my life and giving me the confidence to do what I do now. So yeah, it's the best idea I've ever had was getting sober for sure.
Well, and I'm not going to go into the
Mhm.
your situation because I know everybody has a story that
Yeah,
it's tough. So I congratulate you on that, and it's
thank you.
really cool, and especially since now you're going back into the scene now that
Mhm.
you're a podcaster. So what you were in the bands, now you're a podcaster. So tell me how that came about.
Um, how like the podcast came about?
Yes.
So we're going on 2 years. Oh, in 4 days it will be 2 years old, this podcast. Yeah, so 2 years ago, I had reconnected with an old friend back home, just talking over the phone and stuff. And we wanted to make a comedy podcast pretty much. Punk rock like wasn't an emphasis, like it was there, but it wasn't really like the backbone of the idea at first. And so I started it with an old friend who had some substance abuse problems that were a lot larger than I was really aware of, and a comedian who lived in the area as well. And by episode like four or five, I had to part ways with my old friend because he was impossible to work with.
Oh, that's tough.
And then the comedian quit, and then I just kept going. I had a producer or whatever you want to call him, a guy who like would record the people on the other end for me for a while, and then I figured out how to do it myself and have just been doing. And luckily, I had other friends get involved and other people like have stepped up or whatever you want to call it, like to help me run the podcast. And yeah, it's gone through many different iterations from trying to be like honestly kind of like offensive just for the sake of it to like focusing on like something of substance. No pun intended. Like of like trying to, bring something of value and to showcase like underground art to people, who otherwise might not find it.
Isn't it crazy how like you start off with an idea and then it starts to
Mhm.
slowly change as time goes on?
Oh yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it what really changed it for me, I guess, was like when I interviewed some filmmakers who were looking like to go onto a podcast. They made a musical horror comedy called Sweet Meats. And for that was like the first time I ever did the podcast completely sober. So that was like the 25th episode. I literally like blacked out on an episode before. And I posted it to punish myself. But but on that episode, I was like, okay, like they sent me the movie beforehand, like before it came out in like, the limited amount of theaters or anything. And I was like, I watched it very intently. I wrote down like 50 questions the night before, and I did like a whole bunch of research on the director and cinematographer as much as I could. And that really made me realize like, oh, like art is my life. I need to focus on that. Like I was really trying to like, I'm not a comedian. Like I think I'm funny, but I'm not a professional comedian, and I shouldn't try to. I was trying to emulate like my favorite comedy podcast, and it just came off as like cringe, as the kids say. So
But you
yeah.
did it wrong. You did your thing. You found out what worked for you, and especially
Hmm.
like movies and stuff like that. I like how you kind of integrate that with your podcast too. So that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there this particular? I know you want to support the underground, and
Hmm.
I love that. I think that that is like the coolest thing. And even
Oh, thank
directors, musicians. Is there anybody
you.
that you interviewed that you were like, oh damn, this is something special?
Uh, do you remember who Bonnie or Danny Bonaducci is?
Yes, I do.
I interviewed his ex-wife.
No shit.
Yeah, she, she's in a goth cover band in Bisbee,
Get the fuck out.
Arizona.
Really?
Yeah. And as far as I know, she's running for mayor of Bisbee. Gretchen, she's a really nice lady, and yeah, I interviewed her and her band, and that was like it's so bizarre, you
So,
know.
so she's, wait a minute. Let me go back. So she's Anna Bonatucci's wife, and
Yeah.
she's in a goth band.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. She plays keyboard and sings. They're called Dance the Vampire, or I mean Dance of the Vampires. I forget the whole name right
Here we
now,
go.
but yeah, very goth. Yeah, and they're pretty good. They do really well. They do like covers of like The Cure and The Cult and stuff like that. And yeah, so that definitely stuck out as unique. As far as like special, I guess it would be that first one with those filmmakers, which really like changed the way I approached this. And I did a podcast with, I guess he's not really he's an author about recovery, but like from abuse and like mental health tribulations, I guess. Gregorio Lewis, he lives in Mexico, and that was a pretty special episode for sure. He told me about all about his upbringing in a very abusive household, a lot of psychological manipulation and like um what would you call it? I guess like malpractice in the health care industry and being misdiagnosed and forced to be on meds that he shouldn't be on and stuff like that. So that was probably our heaviest episode for sure.
But
But
you need
yeah,
those episodes. You need to have
yeah.
that because it's not going to always be like every day is not going to always be like happy
Hmm.
rainbow. Sometimes you need to get
Yeah,
real, and that's the kind of stuff that you need to have to make it real and make it authentic, and especially somebody talking
yeah.
about that. Like that's really tough, you know?
Yeah, for sure. No, he like almost cried during it, and like honestly, you could see like he was sort of like glowing. Like he's been. I don't know if he ever had a substance abuse problem, but I know he's like sober and just like filled with like a certain kind of energy for sure. And it was I don't know, it was really interesting. Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
that's
yeah.
cool though because I mean the fact that he was able to open up to you because that's something.
Hmm.
It takes
Yeah,
so
for
much
sure.
bravery and so much from it comes from really that's
Hmm.
great that people are able to open up with you. I think that that is really
Yeah.
cool. I love
For
that.
sure. Yeah, yeah, and he's written several books on the subject. I think the Punk Rocker's Guide to Healing anthology or something. I'm so bad. I forget everything that everybody tells me after. Yeah. I don't know if like I do so much of this and I talk to so many different people and I think my medication, I'm on Lexapro. I think it affects my short-term memory. I Okay, yeah.
No,
So, it's just hard to keep up with everything. But yeah, it was a very uh uh unique, special experience for sure. Yeah.
absolutely. So what do you hope to get going for this podcast? What do you hope to show and to do?
Um, I guess ultimately I want to make movies.
Ooh,
Um, and I want to have a venue of our own so that we can be completely in charge of our shows. And I don't want it like I want to bring some like uniqueness and more like cinematic um style to podcasting, I guess. Like I want it to be more outrageous, I guess. I don't know. And like I'm making a documentary or myself and my camera crew, shout out Jesse Lopez, he's my cameraman. He's helped me change everything about this podcast. We're making a documentary on the Arizona punk scene. So we also want to throw a festival once that comes out. And I don't know. I guess I could say just I want to do everything, like everything that I've always wanted to do, have a venue, act. I want to get back into playing music eventually. And I don't know, just show everybody that true art is in the underground. It always will be. Like I think mainstream art, like obviously, no, before I say this, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling,
no,
but there's
I love what you're saying.
Cool. So obviously there is good art within the mainstream, but to me that's like one out of a million.
Mhm.
Like I think mainstream American culture is a disease, and I think it infects people's minds, it nullifies them, it pacifies them, it makes them into mindless consumers and into automatons for the capitalist system. And I want people to understand that like you don't need to rely on Netflix or Amazon or Disney or Spotify to find genuine artistic expression. It's always around you at your local dive bars, in alleys and street corners, like at coffee houses. That's where true expression is taking place. It's very rarely on a big screen or in one of the streaming services. And if you want to create art, you need to, like, if you're missing something from your life, you're not being entertained in the way that you want to be, like, you don't wait around for it to happen. You have to make it happen. And that's your power that you have. Like, you don't need to rely on anybody else. Just start going to shows and play whatever instrument that you're interested in, play it poorly. Like, I feel like punk rock is it's such kind of like a narrow ideology when it comes to art, and I think it's beautiful and that like anybody can do it, right? There's no restrictions on it. But I think it kind of limits itself in that like a lot of people want to stay within like a very specific bracket when to me it means like everything. Like just do whatever you want as much as you can and just good stuff will happen, I guess.
Love
I don't
that.
know. Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
totally right because people want to place like these rules on punk. Like they just want
Hmm.
you to be inside this box, and it's like that was never what punk was. It should
Right.
be who you are as an individual. That's what makes it great.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love
No, and talking to all these different people, like my main question is like, what does punk rock mean to you? And people have very different answers when it comes to it. The main answer is like individuality, like freedom of self-expression. But I've also noticed, and I guess it applies to me too, that it really is like a lifestyle or like an ideology verging almost on religion, honestly. Like it saved people's lives. And yeah, I don't want to use the word cult, but I know a cult is defined by like a central idea, and the central idea being non-conformity, but like aggressive non-conformity. You know what I mean? It's not just like being alt or whatever, not to like poo-poo on the younger generation and their vernacular, but like it's a lot more than just dressing up. Like it's like being aggressively non-conformist, and that means like really showing society that you have a disdain for it, which is something I always loved about goth culture. You know, that like and to this day, like I mean, I don't know how it is where you live, but I get dirty looks for wearing all black, like to this day.
what?
Yeah, yes, and especially now that I have a kid, like I show up at his school to pick him up or whatever, I'm the only guy with nail polish on and a band shirt, you know, and like just I don't look like I play golf every weekend, which is like the culture out here, you know.
Still
Nothing
though,
against
like
golf.
I wear all black here. People make comments, but like I can't believe
Yeah.
that's still like something like that people are
Hmm.
still like, oh, they're wearing black.
I
Terrible.
know. I honestly like I blame the current administration, honestly, for bringing out that bigotry and hatred in people. Like, it wasn't really like that when I first moved here until like 10 years ago. That's when like everybody felt more comfortable being like everybody stopped expressing themselves as individuals and they all just want to be this one thing, you know, and that's not for me. And I don't know. I guess to answer your question, yeah, I just want to like show people like just be yourself, you know, and look at all these great bands and you can make great friends. Like th because of punk rock, I have friends for life, you know. I have people I can I have punk rock is my family far more than my family has ever been, you know, and I'm really thankful for that. And I guess I just want to share that with the world. So,
But I love that you're sharing that with the world with what you're doing and the documentary. Which are you
mm.
currently working on, or are you done with it, or is it
No, we're currently working on. I have a lot more to do. I have a lot of people to contact. I guess I'm being kind of selfish. I want to document every single aspect of the scene from its early beginnings in the, you know, the late 70s to today.
deep? You're going back in the archives.
I am, yeah. If I don't know, maybe I can brag a little bit or whatever, but I met with the original bass player from JFA.
Oh shit!
And yeah, Michael Cornelius, and he gave me like a long list of people that I should contact who were there back in the day out here. And yeah, and I have to like, you know, most of the bands that I've worked with are usually like 30 years old up to probably 50. And I need to also go to like the younger kids shows because they're doing things a little bit differently than we did, and their music is pretty different. I guess they're doing like hardcore emo, but like
Yeah.
with their own style. But you know, whatever. It still counts. You know. So yeah, I have a lot more to do. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I like that you're going into like the eras, like different
Hmm.
and to now. a lot of people tend to, when they do a documentary, they just focus on now instead of anything,
Right.
kind of like forgetting what happened in the past. But you kind of want to know that those people kind of started it, and you're
Yeah.
continuing.
Well, I have to give the credit to the older people out here who had already signed on to be a part of it. That they were like, dude, you need to talk to like more than just these modern people. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and they're all like aggressive about it. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. But like, but they're totally right. If I'm gonna make a documentary about Arizona punk rock, which is unique, I need to cover all aspects of it. Um, yeah, so it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, we already have like probably hundreds of hours of footage. We're gonna end up with thousands of hours, and then we'll have to whittle it all down. Um, yeah,
Well, I definitely am interested in seeing that. I
thank
think
you.
that's pretty really cool.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, as we're gonna wrap this up because I
Mhm.
got some things going on, but
Sure.
just tell me what you want to promote. Tell me anything you want right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube, I guess would be our main channel. Just type in Let's Ruin Our Lives. We will come up, followed by the song by the MFA, and they gave us that song. So click on both those. Support the, and they're not around anymore, but still support their music video. It's really good. It's called Let's Ruin Our Lives. And on Instagram, Facebook, I guess. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all those Podbean. I don't know, on all those platforms. Um, if you're in Arizona, we have a show on July 17th at Fiddler's Dream in Phoenix. It's all acoustic with Lenny and Carl, Heathen, and Vox Manica. And then in August, we have a punk and metal show at Joe Bot in downtown. And that one's free, and that has the comedian Jamar Neighbors. If anybody knows who that is, um, you'd be stoked. And so, yeah, I guess that, and all the bands that have been on the podcast, obviously follow all of them. The talent out here is ridiculous, and I've felt for a long time like Arizona gets really overlooked. It's really overshadowed by its reputation, and I would just like to say that it's really not a conservative Republican state. It's far more leftist than you could imagine. It's just so happens that
Sorry.
it's not. Um, so yeah, that's it, I guess.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time. I
Yeah.
definitely am, I want to subscribe and do all the things because
Please do.
such awesome things you're seeing, and I respect that so much. Like I really do. I
Thank you.
respect what you're doing. I definitely think that I just want all of this stuff to happen for you, and
Thank you.
I, I think you're talented. I think you're an
Oh,
awesome guy, and
thank you.
you're easy to talk to,
Oh,
honestly.
thank you. That's
So
the Lexapro.
so keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, I mean, keep going for it. I mean,
Thank
kick
you.
ass.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I had a great time. You asked great questions. This was fun.
Let's do this again.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime.
Hey, all right. Well, I'll let you go.
Okay.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.